There's a reason people think certain things about California politicians. It's telling to see what's opposed and what gets supported. This is the CitizenLink report. I'm Stuart Shepard along with Chad Hills, who keeps track of sexual health issues for us. Hi, Chad.
Hi, Stuart.
Well, we want to talk about a couple of bills that Governor Jerry Brown signed in California just recently, and just give you a taste of the moral confusion of some of the folks who take a socially liberal point of view about things. Let's talk about the first bill. The first one makes it illegal for a young person to go to a tanning salon because it's bad for you. The state already required parental consent for people under 18, but apparently that was not enough. And from their perspective, the government must step in to protect young people from making decisions about tanning beds. So they made it illegal for anyone under 18 to do that. However, there was another bill he also signed. Tell us about that one.
Right. This bill allows kids just out of 6th grade, entering 7th grade, about 12 years old, to make their own decision about HPV vaccine apart from their parents' consent. So that's another huge concern, especially when he signed the bill about the tanning booth at the same time.
You start putting them side by side. And HPV, of course, human papillomavirus, a sexually transmitted disease. They're saying 12-year-olds can make that decision without parents knowing anything about it.
Right. And a lot of kids think that the HPV vaccine is a panacea, that it takes care of everything, that they're free to go have sex and no worries. But unfortunately, it only protects against Gardasil protects against about 4 strains of the HPV and Cervarix against 2. And there are 13 strains that are very dangerous, 40 altogether that are sexually transmitted. So it only protects against maybe about 1/3 to 1/6 of the really dangerous strains of HPV. So this is another concern that parents should have. And anytime your kid's getting vaccinated, wouldn't you want to know, if you're a parent, what if they have an adverse reaction to the vaccine?
Particularly if your 12 or 13-year-old is suddenly thinking, I think I need a vaccine against a sexually transmitted disease. I mean, that goes beyond that. And you just gave a very good explanation of what the vaccine does. And it does, I mean, it has value. But it is something that we think parents ought to be involved in the decision-making process of when and whether their young daughter gets that. But with that, you just gave a very good explanation of it, but it's not something I think most 12-year-olds are going to stop and read up on. They're not going to consider it at the level that you just explained it in 20 seconds.
Right, right. And yeah, we're talking about 12-year-olds. We're just entering middle school, and this is one of the most tumultuous, emotional, irrational times in any child's life, as parents of teenagers can attest. And here the governor is removing the oversight of parents and handing that to children. In a sense, he's saying, your parents don't know well enough. Why don't you make this decision, especially right now at your age? So this, it just seems ludicrous that he'd do this. And we need to also be concerned about the fact that why are these kids getting this vaccine? If your child is being sexually active, I think, and getting treated for or being tested for sexually transmitted infections, I think it's important that the parent should know about that. The parent needs to be involved in that.
So in your estimation, this bill also goes beyond just Gardasil. It may also open the door for other things.
Yes, I think the bill, as I was looking at the language, the bill looks fairly ambiguous, loose, if you will, in the sense that I think loopholes could be exploited for other aspects of vaccines or taxpayer-funded treatment of this. This is going to be on the shoulders of the taxpayers. Whatever happens here, it's not going to be you know, on the kids who are necessarily getting the vaccines. You, the taxpayer, are going to be paying for it.
So on the one hand, parental consent, not enough to keep young people away from tanning beds. But on the other hand, parental knowledge, even parents knowing, is not required for them to make a decision about something like a vaccine for an STD.
Right, right.
What does that tell us about the socially liberal mindset? We're on two different sides here. There's a divide between about our point of view about things and also the way folks on the other side think. What does it tell us about what's going on over there?
Yeah, you know, I think If parents sit on their hands and do nothing and never speak up against what's happening, such as in the state of California, the government's going to continue to take parental rights and responsibilities, God-given roles, away from us as parents. So I think now is the time to speak up if you're a parent and oppose this and say, wait a minute, this is my duty, my responsibility, my role as a parent to determine if and when my child is vaccinated against anything, especially something that is passed through sexual activity.
And that really comes down to the relationship of moms and dads and their kids. I mean, they've got to be connected tightly enough that young people feel comfortable sharing things that may not be so comfortable for parents to hear.
That's it. Yeah, parents do need to have the conversation, as uncomfortable as it may be. We have many resources out there that can help parents on CitizenLink, and this conversation does need to happen. Communication does need to be open, and the kids need to have a certain degree of comfort with you. And also, it's been proven through research that parents' approval or disapproval of risky behaviors is the most influential thing in a child's life. So make it known that, hey, I don't agree with you having sex or being sexually active before you're married. And that's going to go a long way.
All right. Chad, thank you for your insights on this and for keeping track of these things. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Stuart.
And we appreciate the notes and emails we get from you. We read every one that comes in. We do appreciate hearing your questions, your criticisms, the other thoughts that you have about it. You can always write to us at mail@citizenlink.com. Remember to pray for our elected officials in all 50 states as they make decisions like the ones that were recently made in California, and as they choose a path that very much impacts families right inside their homes. And remember, stand tall and be heard.